Let me tell you a story that will trick your mind and challenge your sense of right and wrong. Let's begin. There's a child born into a magical family in a great and guarded magical land. From the moment he could speak, he is taught about the sacredness and greatness of those who possess magic. It was their world, their legacy. But things start to change when the rulers, manipulated by new ideologies, decide to let in outsiders who neither knew their traditions nor their beliefs. Slowly, the customs begin to disappear. The identity fades. The boy watches helplessly as everything he grew up loving begins to disappear until one day he sees hope. A powerful man appears, a descendant of one of the most legendary magicians. This man speaks of revival, of a revolution, of taking their world back. Desperate to save the only life he has ever known, the boy joins him. Now, pause. Reflect. Do you sympathize with the boy? Do you feel bad for him? Do you wish he would win this war to win his world back? Well then, congratulations! You've just expressed sympathy for one of Voldemort's followers. Yes, let that sink in. Now, anyone who has read or watched Harry Potter will agree that Voldemort is a racist megalomaniac who justified genocide and mass murder with delusions of superiority, and that his loyal army of Death Eaters are a violent, supremacist group of dark wizards who enforced his vision through fear, oppression, and murder. And yet, we just sympathized with one of them. Why? Because we heard his side of the story and his side only. That is the power of perspective. When we listen to just one side of the story and don't stop to question the bigger picture, we might unknowingly side with the wrong one. Perception shapes emotion, and emotion shapes judgment. We've all grown up hearing good always wins. It is in every fairy tale, every history book. But is it always true, or do we simply believe so because winners write the history? Let's take the example of Alexander the Great, the military genius who conquered the Persian Empire by the age of 25, the visionary who spread Hellenistic culture across continents. He is often celebrated as a hero. But what about the version that's rarely talked about? To the Persians, he wasn't great. He was Alexander the Accursed, the man who burned down Persepolis, their sacred city. To them, he did not bring culture, he brought destruction. So, was he truly great, or do we simply believe so because he won and his version of history survived? That is where we must be careful. We cannot outsource our morality to popular opinion. We must question what's right and wrong through our own lens, not through the loudest one. When we rush to judge, we create misconceptions. Opinions must rest on facts, not borrowed beliefs, because from their own point of view, everyone is right. That has always been the case, whether it's ancient wars, political struggles, or stories passed down through generations. Perception shapes memory, and memory shapes belief. This isn't just something from history books or fantasy novels. This is happening to us every single day. We live in an age where the internet hands us opinions faster than we can form our own. Social media is filled with voices, some informed, others not, some glorified, others ridiculed. And too often, we don't stop to think. We scroll, we share, we believe. During the pandemic, I remember being flooded with endless WhatsApp forwards, remedies claiming that salt baths or neem water could cure COVID. Some were absurd, others well meaning, but many people believed in them not because they were ignorant, but because they were afraid. And when fear replaces facts, misinformation wins. Around the same time, social media became a breeding ground for anti vaccine campaigns. False claims about infertility and heart risks spread like wildfire. This wasn't harmless. This delayed vaccinations, sowed doubt, and ultimately prolonged the period of the pandemic far longer than necessary. And it made me reflect. We weren't just facing a virus, we were facing another kind of infection, one of unchecked information. Those people who forwarded the messages, they may not have meant any harm. Maybe they used a remedy, felt better, and assumed it worked. But anecdotes are not evidence. What works once may not always work. And if we don't pause to verify, we stay in the dark. The blame, it doesn't rest solely on the one who shares. It rests equally with the one who believes blindly. Whether it's war, wellness, or world leaders, misinformation is everywhere. And when we stop thinking for ourselves, misinformation wins. So the next time you hear a story, read a headline, or cheer for a hero, pause. Ask, whose version is this? What facts support this? Am I hearing the whole story or just one side? Let curiosity, not convenience, guide your truth, because that is how we see beyond the illusion and into understanding. That is the true power of perspective.